Oh, maybe this is better. Let's see. What does everybody say? All right. So I think we are live here on Facebook. How's everybody doing? This is not a optimal time to do posts like this, but from a marketing standpoint, because it's on a Tuesday evening. It's about 7:30. There's most people are at networking events, right? The folks that are really active, the people who are really trying to reach. The networking event, my wife Kathy, she's actually in a networking event right now on design thinking, and I missed it. I really wish I can go and kind of learn more about it. But I'm here and kind of just taking a little time off. And as I was going shopping, I made these realizations, and so I wanted to share with you guys. Didn't really plan on doing this at all, but I did, out of habit. Again, being a marketing person, I did got ready, take a shower, and I put on the dress shirt. So at least you look good on camera. The lighting is not very good right now, but I think it's based on what I'm gonna share. I think it would be beneficial for those of you who are trying to get started in your business and also in the middle of trying to grow your business, because I think we have gone down that path. We have made a lot of realizations, made a lot of mistakes, and I think a lot of that I've been thinking about writing a blog about it, but we don't have time, right? As what happens is when you start gaining more traction, your time is just like the most valuable resource in the world. So there's a big mindset change throughout this entrepreneurial journey that made me really try to prioritize effort based on the value of my time. And so writing a blog is just not the time, right? This is not the time in my life to create it. I've always wanted to share it. And so, but now I'm realizing that, hey, I can just do this with video, and I'm just being myself anyway. And I'm sharing with you, these realizations, and we can share it with the world. And to me, making a big positive impact to the world is I would say a big desire of mine. And so instead of waiting until I'm older to write a book or whatever, write a blog, start blogging about it, why don't I just use the Real Estate IQ platform and start sharing right now? We can put on YouTube tomorrow. We have this video. And just to share with you a little more about myself, you'll find that as you get to know me more, I'm a very spontaneous person. If there's a good idea, I do it. If it's a very good idea, we jump on that idea, and we really test that idea, and we commit to it, and we execute, and we try the idea, and obviously, sometimes good ideas may turn out to be bad ideas, but we really execute and we go down that path, and that's how we learn through experience what works and doesn't work. And that's a very entrepreneurial mindset I want to share with you. Is that if you want to make something happen, go do it. Right? There are many ideas out there. Right? There's good ideas. There's bad ideas. We can come up with a dozen business ideas that we can chase down right now. But the most important thing is execution, right? You have a good idea, and there's so many ideas out there. We hear ideas all the time from our employees, And sometimes the ideas are fantastic ideas, but bad in timing. And sometimes they are very good ideas, and the timing is just perfect, and we execute right away. And then there's also obviously bad ideas. The percentage is not that big. There's so many suggestions and ideas that are just like fantastic, great ideas, and we are such, we're on the creative side of the spectrum. Whenever there's an idea, we want to hear it because it's if it's a good idea, we can create it, we can make it happen, and that's gonna help us grow the company. There's over the years, I have learned to have a smaller and smaller ego because the more, first of all, obviously I have developed quite a bit of expertise in the 5 years doing this, but we're not like the best, we're not the best out there, right? So we're trying to grow our company and prove that we can be better and better and better, and we want to hire coaches to get us become better and better at what we do, but that's gonna take time. So and kind of at this stage of our business, we have about 50 employees. We're not that small, right? But we're not that big either. We have been trying to grow the company from nothing about 5 years ago to over 50 people right now, and there are so much lessons learned that I'm thinking, hey, there's a lot of mistakes that we have committed that if we had known better, and really listen to other people stories, and then the more stories I hear, the smarter I'm going to be. I think I would have been able to help everybody shorten their entrepreneurial journey because of these hard experiences. It's always good to have coaches, right? But also it's kind of nice to go through this and really struggle until we figure out a good way to grow the company. I think that life experience is much more remarkable, and I'm thinking that, hey, that's something that it's like, hey, we have made a mistake. Please don't do it. And as we continue to grow and we can afford more and more consultants and coaches to help us grow the company, we can even share more. We're going to accelerate our learning, and then we can share more. But this is kind of the story where like we don't have a big starting investment to start this company, and we literally started from scratch and creating kind of the organization in these 5 years all the way to where we are now, where we are starting to worry about organization of the company and structuring the company that's scalable. I think we have hit the stage where I think we're about to hit that hyper growth stage. And as when I was much younger, I was like, man, I wanted to learn more about this kind of stuff. How come, like obviously we hear and we read about the stories of successful entrepreneurs, but it's not that you have a lot of access to them. So I want to, for those of you who are doing this, or you are aspiring to be an entrepreneur, it doesn't really matter what business or what product it is, but kind of the growth and the mindset I think is very similar. And if I can kind of just share a little bit of that with the world, I think it can help you guys accelerate that. Like why do we struggle 5 years to get to this stage right now? If we could have done it in 3 years or 2 years. I mean, who doesn't want to be more successful faster, guys? So these are the things that I want to share with you. And now the kind of the key thing is I want to tell you this story. And through the story, I want to share with you a couple of entrepreneurial mindsets. And we're marketers, right? So as a business owner, you're starting, you're growing your company. We all need to be excellent marketers, even if we're not the ones doing the work. We need to be excellent product creators, even though we're not necessarily doing the work. Especially when you're trying to grow a company in a starting stage, you kind of need to wear a lot of hats. And because you need to wear a lot of hats, you got to learn a lot of things really fast. And that has been how I'm able to achieve my happiness, and how my business partner Juan Carlos, how he's achieving his happiness. Because when we're exposed to so many things, we gotta learn all these things so fast, and you're really feeling that you're stretching yourself, and you're growing and you're growing and growing as a person. I think a lot of folks can benefit from that mental challenge. And so we have been doing this, and we have been through all these challenges. We've been trying to kind of solve these problems, and kind of start seeing a business as a strategy. It's like kind of like playing chess or playing Go. The ancient Chinese game of the black and white pieces in a 19 by 19 board. Go is war. So I'm trying to start, and I'm starting to develop an appreciation for Go, and I'm trying to learn a little more about it, because we have, at this stage of the company, I think being more strategic is crucial. It's crucial to continue to grow the company. And we're wearing all these hats, but now, in order to be an effective CEO, you can only do CEO position, duties, right? But we're now wearing so many hats that we're not necessarily spending enough efforts, from a company standpoint. We're not spending enough time to put more structure in place. Like, imagine if I can just go in there and just focus on structuring the company, and doing the organizational kind of architecture for the company. I have had those experience before, so it's going to make a tremendous impact into the company. But that's not the place that we can be right now. I need to step back away from being a marketer, right, and driving the marketing department. I'm trying to delegate more of my work and step back more. Once we're able to put in that infrastructure, right, and we have the team in place, and we have a really good group of people that are super high performers. Wow, I'm just we feel so blessed to be amongst such high quality people that can make it happen, and they believe in our company culture, right? The 10 cultural values that we have. There's another story there, but I'm not going to delve into that. Company culture, and they're smart, and they love challenges. They want to learn and keep stretching the brain, and keep stretching themselves out their comfort zones. Like having those type of personalities joining the team, now we can achieve a lot more. It's not about me doing the work and making things happen anymore. It's about kind of coaching our employees and making sure that we're creating a career path, and creating a growth for them, to keep developing them, right? And they're going to find a lot of satisfaction in their job. And I think it's karma. I don't know. Maybe it's karma. Maybe just a virtual cycle, right? Because when they grow, the company is going to grow, and we're going to be in a bigger position, and I'm going to be able to grow more, and I can I can grow everybody else along the way. And right, again, having coaches to help us grow further, so that we can coach our own people, and I think that's just such a fantastic setup. And we're hoping for one day we can very soon afford that luxury and just kind of have a whole bunch of coaches and consultants that can help us grow faster. Okay. What else? So I was talking about being a marketer, right? Always having different hats, and this is what happened. So I decided, we are. I decided to go home for a week last week, and it helped me slow down my time schedule a little bit. Spending time with family and spending time with my parents. I'm kind of working in the morning for staff meetings, and in the afternoon I kind of take the time off as much as I can, and spend a little more time with family. It felt really nice and kind of slowed me down a little bit. So I'm not completely back to work yet. So yesterday we did the real estate talk, and we did the market update. But I wasn't really putting more effort into that real estate talk because I was just coming back from the vacation. But it was a very good analysis, right? I just never kind of put more of the entrepreneurial insight that I usually do and I inject in my real estate talks. So trying to take another day off today, right? Again, morning I have meetings, but in the afternoon I wanted to kind of take a little time to kind of recruit. We just did a big push, and I'm about to do another big push. So taking a few days off is kind of good for mentally. And we're working all the time. As entrepreneurs, I think we view time very differently. We're not really looking at the value of my time per se. Like not $50 an hour, $100 an hour, $200 an hour. We don't think about that anymore. We think about time as the only resource in the world. Money is money is not important. Money is important. Very, very, very important. What am I talking about? Money is very important, but money is not the definition of my self-worth. Money is not a factor that I view as a scarce resource. Oh, it's not. Money is no longer a scarce resource because as we continue to grow the company, right, we're going to be more and more successful. That's what we're hoping for, right? As entrepreneurs, we are very optimistic. And so we're going to keep becoming more and more successful. And so, money is not a big deal, right? Until we hit our growth spurt, and then, but again, we're optimistic people, right? We're optimistic. We have a high level of confidence in our abilities. That's why we're doing this. And so we are going to do our best and keep making it happen and being more and more successful and growing a bigger and bigger platform where we can make a bigger impact to the world. I think we have that social responsibility. But anywho, with the value of time, I find myself having a very hard time deciding what to eat for dinner. So as trivial as it is, there's some lessons in here. So I was debating about dinner. We've been eating out so much. I just want to eat something very healthy. And how can you eat something healthy? I'm thinking I should have gotten a poke salad maybe, right, with more vegetables. But silly me, I wanted to go to Trader Joe's, which is walking distance. It's just 2 blocks away from where we live. So we are in a really cool area here in Dallas. A lot of nightlife and stuff. So going there, right? It's very convenient. Just walking there is very convenient. That's the reason I wanted to settle in this place. But I was kind of struggling to justify the time that it would take to walk there. And and I think, you know, I'm a very picky person in terms of food. And so in terms of shopping habits, I'm a Central Market person. Central Market has a lot of good ingredients that are, uh, you know, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's fresher. Uh, the meat is much more flavorful. I think they pay more attention to their sourcing. And you know, but I have to drive there. And when we go, we stop, you know, buying, you know, ingredients to cook because cooking is such a luxury. And we always love to cook and cooking a nice meal for ourselves or eating out. But this time work schedule right now, we have not been able to, you know, we go on date nights and we go out as much as we can, but maybe it's like a once a week, once, no, once every 2 3 weeks, once a month kind of thing. Like it's a luxury to go out because we're not free in most weeknights. So you know, and you know, cooking is the same, right? It's just an evening, 2 to 3 hours spent in eating something nice and kind of indulge the senses. You know, cooking is gonna take 2 3 hours, maybe more, and eating out it's gonna take 2 3 hours if you want to really enjoy a good meal and really enjoy the experience, right? And so cooking has become a luxury, but you know, Trader Joe's. You know, I have realized that I have become a Trader Joe's targeted audience because I want to eat something healthy, but I don't have time. And so they have a lot of ready-made food at Trader Joe's that if you want to kind of, you know, the food is okay, right? It's pre-made food, but it kind of gives you the proteins and stuff that you need. And if you don't have time, you have to kind of live with that. But now I'm trying to eat even healthier. I'm trying to not eat those pre-made protein and kind of eat a little more a salad and maybe like, I don't know, figure out how to get grilled chicken or fish. Be a little healthier, you know, maybe just eggs, you know, like, you know, our taste has become much more indulgent, and it hasn't been very healthy for us because we don't have time, right? So whenever we can eat, we indulge, but the rest of the time we want to eat as healthy as possible. So I was thinking about sharing if you start looking at the grocery store and what kind of demographics that they target, right? Let's think, right? I always preach that to be a good marketer, we need to be a very good shopper. To be a good salesperson, we also need to be a very good shopper, right? So how do we evaluate different stores and you know, we have been marketed all our lives, right? Just think about the grocery store that you go to, right, regularly. Which one is it? Is it Costco? Is it Kroger, Walmart, Trader Joe's, Central Market? You know, the folks, if you're watching on West Coast, you know, I grew up on West Coast, maybe Safeway, and maybe there's you know, those small boutique higher end chains. I don't remember what the name is, but you know, you shop for those area for a reason because you are part of those demographics. And so when we look at Trader Joe's in this location, it's because they are trying to cater to the folks that want to have a more urban lifestyle. You know, they have a parking lot, but it's not that big. But you know, Trader Joe's kind of the size of the store itself. They are kind of catering to the younger, maybe after college generation, I would say. You know, obviously I could be wrong, right? So someone from Trader Joe's may step out and go, this is not our marketing strategy. you are dead wrong. But I think I think I'm gonna be right in a lot of the points. And so so they're trying to cater to the more urban neighborhood and the folks that don't necessarily need there's so many different types of grocery stores, right? We can go talk about all the other ones, but let's just focus on Trader Joe's, and they want to focus on the people that want to be a little more healthy and have a little more organic focused in their food, and they're a little bit kind of cheaper in price range than Central Market. And so those are kind of the socioeconomical market that they're at right now, at least. Whatever their future marketing strategy is, I can't foresee that. No one has told me. So we're just looking at their current position on the market right now. And then Central Market is, I think their slogan is something about foodies, right? I think the word that I think about in Central Market is foodies. And I think the word I think about Whole Foods is, I think it's more healthy. So Central Market and Whole Foods also have a different position on the market, because Central Market, you can buy a lot more and better ingredients that taste better at Central Market. But in Whole Foods, you can also get the same ingredients, but they don't taste as good. And I think the price point is probably about the same. But Whole Foods is bigger, right? I think Central Market is only Texas wide. Maybe that's a choice that they decide to be, or but I'm kind of trying to read a little bit too far. But Whole Foods is, the key word when I think of Whole Foods is healthy, because it's whole foods, right? So that we were just reading about the I think 22 immutable laws of marketing, and you want to be as a company, right? When you're playing in a little bigger level as a company, you want a consumer to think about your name and they think about something, right? One word. So that's your first impression, right? Trying to gain clients is like dating. Just trying to date, you're trying to give them your best impression, and you want to have that branding. You want to have that one word. And I think for real estate IQ, it is I think intelligence. So we have a lot of data, and we're doing a lot of analytics, and so I think intelligence is, marketing intelligence and real estate intelligence is going to be our focus, and that's the word that we want people to be thinking. So we have just done a quick change in our tagline. We have pivoted a lot as a company too, but again, a site. We want to kind of finish talking about the grocery stores, right? Let's continue to finish that point. Is that we have 99 Ranch, which I shop at. It's more of an Asian store, and they cater to Asians, and they have more kind of Asian diet. So Asians eat a lot of vegetables. We don't eat that much salad, but there's a lot of Asian vegetables that are very healthy, high fiber, lots of nutrients. So we like to eat those, at least in the Chinese culture, right? And where I come from, different Asian cultures have different diets, and you also have, you're gonna see different ethnic grocery stores. Pay attention when you're driving around. There's an Indian grocery store somewhere near you, I'm sure. If you're in a bigger city, you're gonna have those, more of those. If you're in a more diverse city, you're gonna have more, or if you're in a city that has high concentration of the population, you're gonna have more. So in the DFW area, in the Plano, like north of Dallas, there's a lot of Asians and Indians living there, and it's a high very well sought after neighborhood, because it is known for having good school districts. And so, Asians and Indians, I think, We have the reputation of really, really care about education, and I think that is a true reputation. So there's a lot of concentration there, and so a new Japanese store that got to the DFW area is in the Plano area. A lot of the Asian stuff are in the Plano area, and wanting to eat healthier. Those are the things that I have to give up because I don't have time. So curbside service, delivery, grocery delivery, like we are those demographics, because then we can eat the kind of things that we want. And so, I guess my point is, every grocery store has a different target market. Kroger's has a target market. Walmart has a target market. And so when they are doing their promotions and their strategy, they try to give you advertising that applies to you, or they try to send advertising and put out marketing to the people that are going to convert the most. So there's a lot of data, a lot of marketing data about, I think everybody, up to a certain particular level, granularity, those data have always existed. Now with the population of Facebook and Google and all the data companies, now there's more granularity in that particular person. But all those advertising is going to be catered towards the folks that are more likely to convert. And so let's see what kind of advertising we have. We're also very close to a Mexican supermarket called Fiesta, and that Fiesta is on Ross. And Ross is, it's very close to here, but it's kind of in a not as good, nice side of town. And so I have not seen any advertising from them, even though we're really close, because I don't think we're their demographics. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. Really try to understand your audience, and really think about, pay attention to how you shop and your own shopping habits, and also kind of sort of stepping back a little bit and pay attention to how we are being marketed to and how the big companies do it, because the more you can step out and make those realizations, the more you can apply that to your business, and you can become a bit, if you're a better marketer, your business is going to be bigger. And if you're a better leader, your business is also going to be bigger. It's all about the number of people that you can lead and you can organize, and you can make things happen. Kind of going back to the original point about ideas is a dime a dozen. But the entrepreneurial trait is that we are the ones that take the idea and we execute and make it happen, or make it not happen, realize that it's not the way to go, and then you pivot, and then you keep going, and then you keep trying, and you keep navigating in the business world, and kind of position your company in the best way possible, so you can keep growing your company based on the what your marketing plan is. So pay attention to how you're being marketed to, and pay attention to how you shop. In order to be a better marketer, you need to be a better shopper. And then the other realization, I guess, is I think we should do this more often. I think just kind of talking about these type of realizations and these lessons, and kind of sharing the behind the scene of an entrepreneurial journey. Like, I think we're gonna hit the hypergrowth stage very, very, very soon. But we're not yet there yet, right? So it's a very interesting time to kind of share that for those of you who are interested, because I was always curious. When we first started, oh, so let me kind of share with you my story about an hour in, and that's another realization that I have. So recently I was speaking at a panel at the Quest Expo, I think about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And the topic, I was on two panels. One of them is in marketing, and the other one is called From Corporate to Entrepreneur. And I share a lot, so I think it was a pretty short panel, I thought. But these are the folks, are and the market, the people that we are targeting, they are the folks that want to start a business, or they're already in the real estate business. And real estate is a very stable kind of investment, right? If you know how to do it, if you know how to do it right, and know how to do it well. And so if you know how to do it, you're not going to lose money, right? I think if you're very, very good at it, you're not going to lose money. So it's a very good business, but it's like learning a new degree, right? You're trying to learn something from scratch again, and you are trying to become a bigger and bigger entrepreneur. And so there's a lot of mindset that you got to learn in order to grow your business bigger and bigger, on top of doing business well. You need to know your trade, what you're doing that you're making money off for the business, but you also need to know how to grow the business. You need to be very strong on both sides. And so I'm seeing a lot of folks that are kind of stuck in the business that they're in right now because of the mindset that they are in. And so if they, I'm hoping that for those of you guys out there, if you feel that your business is in a particular spot, and like, why can't I get out of this situation? Ask us questions. Send us a question. Mailbag at realestateIQ.co. So mailbag at realestateIQ.co, and ask those questions. Ask away, and because we have gone through this journey, right? We have grown the company to a good size level that we can answer those questions. And if you are beyond us, I also happen to know a lot of successful entrepreneurs that are more ahead of us, and we can answer those questions for you. So feel free to ask those questions. I want this to be a good discussion, and a valuable, a valuable use of your time, because you're watching this, and I want to give you guys value. So what topics are important to people? As we do more of these, we are going to be covering those. But I need your help, right? I need your help. Send me topics to discover. If you're in a particular part and you're hitting that, when we're growing our business, is always like, boop, and then, because there's limitation of resources, right? Money is a very important resource in growing a business. And the more you can reinvest into the company, the faster it's going to grow. And so having that limited resource, you're always going to be hitting an area in a particular part of your company that you kind of have to fix before you can take that next step. Again, whether it's money or maybe it's internal operations, there's always little kinks in the business. And so the faster you realize it, the better. Your business can be as big as you want it to be. So I guess with this video, I guess I'm also trying to preach that, hey, don't think that and this is an entrepreneurial mindset, right? Is that, you know, this is not my life. I'm not in the box. There's no box. There's no limit. There's no barrier. The only barrier that exists is in our mind, and this is something that my business partner Juan Carlos has said that a lot, and I'm soaking up a lot of his wisdom, right? And I'm sharing that with you. Is that the only barrier is yourself. For example, when we first started, uh, public speaking is scary to me, right? Even though I have had those experiences, I never thought I can be a good public speaker, because I was doing a lot of ums and da, 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 and I feel nervous and I fidget, and it took a lot of practice, right? It took a lot of stretching myself out of my comfort zone, right? I thought I can't do it, but I had to do it. We had to do it for the business, to keep growing, and we need to get ourselves out of our comfort zone. So we got ourselves out of that comfort zone, and we keep talking more and more and speaking more and more, and getting to the point that we're comfortable in our own skin and sharing things on the spot like this right now. That, you know, 5 years ago was unimaginable. I would never feel confident enough to do that and share what I have to myself. It's a gradual realization. I think as Chinese, we are all taught to be humble. I have a very big ego, but I'm always taught to be very humble. And I was sharing with you earlier that as time goes on, I become more and more humble, because, like, let's face it, you cannot accomplish much by yourself. You have to accomplish with other people, and it's no longer how much you know. It's about how much you can grow other people. You need to become true coaches to your employees, and help everybody grow, if you want to be a good leader. Oh, so this is also, in my buddy's words, in maybe my personal crusade, is to help everyone grow their leadership skills, so that you can become bigger leaders, and you're gonna be able to grow a bigger business. Or even if you want to stay in a corporation, if you are a better leader, you're gonna be more successful. But let me share with you my story of why I wanted to go from corporate to an entrepreneur. That was quite a turn there. It was a little bit of a detour. So those of the folks that, obviously we don't do this in a business setting. In the business setting, we need to be very focused. And so as we were just trying, when we're growing a company from scratch, it's very easy to not have a good structure. And I had to invoke my past knowledge in the corporate world, in our organization, in order to grow the company to this point. And we're gonna continue to do that. I'm starting to spend more time and giving more structure in our company. So that is extremely important. There have been times earlier this year that I was just kind of sharing ideas and kind of babble on, because I wanted to spend a little more time sharing with my team and sharing with them how to think. But at the same time, we're not as productive as a team, because we are not as focused, right? So kind of sharing lessons in the right appropriate time is also important. So at meetings now, if it needs to be a status meeting, it needs to be go boop, 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 boop. We talk about an agenda, and we have meeting minutes, and we try to create that structure for the team, because then now, if I'm curious about the meetings that I'm not in, I can read the meeting minutes and I can catch up. I need to spend more time doing all that stuff. So having all those structure is very important as a company, and documentation is become more and more important as the company becomes bigger, and productivity. And all these are very good problems to be solving, and we really enjoy it. So that's the good part about having the corporate experience. The bad thing is that I would say, I was working for about 5 years. I was trying to save up enough capital to do this right. And so, because I have a master's degree, the offer was quite nice. It's not the highest offer because they had a leadership development program that they offer, and this is a defense contractor company. And so, it's another story of how I ended up in that company. But out of all the offers that I had an offer that is close to 100,000, or maybe it's over $100,000, and this one is $20,000 less. So I had to take a $20,000 pay cut to be in this leadership development program, because I think I always wanted to be a better leader, right? And I want to be more successful. And if you want to be more successful, you need to be a bigger leader. You need to be a better leader. So I was always curious about that. So to me, it was like, it's kind of like getting an MBA on business, right? There was a 2-year rotation. We're going to take 3 jobs. About every 8 months, we rotate. So my first rotation was a project manager in LA. So I get exposed to, what LA is. I was actually going to school at the time, but that was my first job. And I would say that was my most challenging position, because it was the first kind of full-time position. And, I was a project manager, so I was kind of already in that, like a rookie leader kind of role. And I had to grow really fast. So I grew a lot, and I learned how to kind of deal with a little bit with politics, and I hated that, right? It was not what I wanted to do. So and then I have another job in Arizona, in Tucson, and another one in St. Petersburg in Florida. So I was able to kind of travel and live in a couple of cities and kind of gain a feel of different part of the country. That was such a fantastic experience, because the more we get exposed to, the more we can relate to other people. And I always encourage getting people to explore more. So trying out different jobs and trying to figure out what I want to do when I truly grow up. And within those rotations, we also can go to 7 week-long conferences to learn more about leadership or different parts of the company. Now, there's a lot of the time that was spent in kind of maybe like company propaganda, maybe not propaganda, but branding, right? It's branding, right? They want to impress you about the company because they're trying to train their next level of leaders, knowing that a big part of there's always attrition, right? So you need to keep helping your leaders, and it's also their recruiting tool, right? Because of that, I took a $20,000 pay cut, and I'm not the only person that did a pay cut to join that program. And so we did that, and we gained a lot of experience. And all the jobs are new and challenging, and I think I have that rotation was very beneficial for me. Looking back. But at the time, I just hated it, because it was a big company. It was such a big structure. You need processes in place, and lengthy processes, because they have a this big quality standard, right? Because as a defense contractor, you're selling to the government, and when you are closer to the government, everything is more bureaucratic, and that was like just very frustrating on my part. It was just a bad fit because I'm a creative person. Um, and after the rotation, I actually took the position here in Dallas. And because I love, I guess, project management so much that I think the position was program manager. No, I think it was maybe operations manager. So we're in charge of the product, the creation of the product, and it was a prototype product. And so I think my strength has always been taking a startup idea and make it happen. So the placing of those roles, maybe I discovered it myself, or maybe they also kind of see that I was very good at that. So I had the opportunity, and just breaking through walls, all these bureaucratic walls, being that champion and like making things happen faster. And it's like pulling teeth. It I would say I enjoyed. It was the only job I knew. It was the only job I knew. I would say that I wouldn't want to do it again. But it really trained my perseverance mindset, I think. Um, and during the time, I was getting paid, pretty well, right? White collar position, and so I was able to create a lot of those savings. So I did the whole corporate. It was 5 years, but you know what? Really got me. So this was the drawback for corporation, and those are the things that I have always stated. Number one, I was creative. Big companies are not, right? So that was a big cultural clash. Number two is that I was starting to feel that it was a glass ceiling, and it's hard to advance. Maybe it's a bad cultural fit. I don't know, but I didn't feel that, at least here, I think in Texas, there is that glass ceiling, more glass ceilings for minorities. So I think I was sensing that, and also when I always made the vow that before I turn 30, I want to start my own business. I want to do it. I want to do it even if I fail. I do it. I try at least once, so I don't regret myself. So I gave myself a 5-year timeline, and thank God we are where we are now. And we are able to continue to grow, and I can continue to do this because I really love what I do. I have not worked a single day in my life ever since we started. In the beginning, of course, it was tough. You have doubts and stuff, but I have enjoyed every moment, second of it. I wouldn't trade even the bad moments with anything else, because that's what builds character. And I think that's what has made my life experience more interesting. I'm 35 years old. I always, before I started doing this, I never thought confident enough to kind of share my life experience because I don't know that much. But I guess through this entrepreneurial journey, I'm realizing more and more that there are a lot of things that we know that we can share, at least from our standpoint, right? We are not saying that we are right or we're correct, but at least we have this experience. We can share that piece of experience. You know, I think there's value there. There's value to the folks in the world that are maybe you have always wanted to start your own business. But you don't know how. You're struggling for that idea, and you want to do it, or you want to join a startup company about to hit the hyper growth stage. That was what I wanted to do before. We are recruiting, we are hiring. So please apply to our programs. We want high-end, motivated, smart, people that can help us drive the company and take us to that next level. And so we're looking for a lot of leaders right now. Okay, so I'm going to use this as a platform to recruit a little bit. I think this is a good one. Anyway, so through the all this journey, right, and through corporation, is that we're learning a lot about those leadership in the leadership development program, but we're learning that the organization, the managers, they don't really practice leadership, and it was very hard to watch. A lot of politics, because what happens is that as a corporation, you are reporting your numbers to the Wall Street, right? So think about it fundamentally from an economic standpoint. When you're on Wall Street, you gotta answer to the metrics and the Wall Street numbers. And so all the numbers in the financial statements, right? For those of you who are familiar, even the folks of you who are not as familiar, top line, bottom line, right? Revenue numbers, right? Profit numbers. Those are all very key important things, along with a lot of different metrics that you got to report. All of those become department goals or business unit goals for those organizations. And so managers need to meet those numbers if they want to do well. And if you don't do well, if you don't meet those numbers, you risk losing your job. But if you meet and beat those numbers, you're gonna get your annual bonus. So managers, when they are managed that way, they are much more short-term thinking, and they do a lot of things that are bad for long-term for the company. We were always thinking like, wow, why is the stock price so good? Like I don't think like they're doing so many decisions that are bad for long-term. Why are we doing this? So I never really agree with that. So being in middle management, the problem is like you have to take the order from upper management and you got to execute and relay the message. And it was always kind of the bad guy. And I don't agree with those decisions. There are a lot of the decisions I didn't agree. And also the last straw on a camel's back is that the startup project that we were starting, we took it to a production level. So now we're talking about tens of millions of dollars. I think we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue for the entire contract. And so now it's a big revenue driver. Maybe it's tens of millions. I think hundreds of millions is a lot. It's too much. I think it's just tens of millions. That's the size of things I have managed. So we took it into tens of millions of dollars of revenue. So now you have all the managers are looking, right? It's got much higher visibility. And it also got more political because a lot of the leaders need to meet those numbers and they make those negotiations that are not good for the program and not that good, especially for the people working there. So the last one, all those nonsense, the decisions that I did not agree with, right? At the very least, let's be politically correct here. The decisions I did not agree with, and the leaders not behaving as leaders, the managers not behaving as leaders, right? It was like, man. So what they did is they hire a whole bunch of contractors to work for this project, to this program, and they make everybody work double shift on Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? As contractors, and make them work, and then on January 1st, they go, oh, I gotta lay everybody off. So if you look at it as a disinterested party, just looking at numbers as an investor, I'll be like, okay, right? That's how you can make the number. But imagine the lives that you are impacting with all these people. They don't get to spend time with their family during holidays. and then they are without a job the next year. And I decided that I didn't want to be a part of that organization anymore. And so we started this. When we started, so this is kind of the origin story, I guess, that I'm sharing with the world, is that when I met my business partner Juan Carlos, it was at a startup event, and there was already a prototype idea that he has created. And so it was it's this technology, and we're still chasing that dream here, is that we have this technology that can analyze a massive amount of properties and know what the valuation of the property is. Right? We're going to continue to improve on the technology and the AI and the algorithm and make it smarter and better and better and better. But just being able to do that and add those intelligence all over the United States, right? That's our first step right now. Is a tremendous idea that we can add a lot of value to the world. And obviously, as we continue to grow and become successful, we're gonna be very successful and we're gonna be wealthy, right? That's what we're trying to do, or at least be getting to a stage that we don't worry about the limitation of money, right? The limitation is only about time. So, but I'm going to talk about those time versus money in other sessions. So I'm here. We're trying to gain back time. Just as the last comment, that's where we are as entrepreneurs. You want to be as busy as possible to create something, and then now you want to gain more and more time back because you want to spend more time with your family and spend more time doing other things. We're trying to, as entrepreneurs, we're always trying to step back more and more from the company and gain our time back and gain our life back. So you will find that your mindset will change over time as your company gets bigger and bigger. Okay, that was the comment about time and money. I'll talk about more details later. But so we started this company with the idea of revolutionizing the real estate data analysis kind of play. But we are learning that in order to do that, to apply the technology really well, it's actually to real estate investors, because real estate investors can find that discrepancy when they can find a discrepancy of how much they're asking for and how much the actual value is. If there's a big gap, that's an investment opportunity. And so we started selling that to agents first. We started as a real estate agent-centric company. And the real estate agents that are regularly using those products, they turn out to be investors themselves. And so we started catering the product more to investors. And so we created, so the first product is MLS Deal Finder, right? It finds deals on the market. These are high potential deals. And we still, the computer is never perfect. So we still recommend our users to look at the comps, right? Look at all the, look at what the computer has done and understand how the computer is done. And then it's going to help you analyze the deal a lot faster. And it's going to help you find the deals, right? It allows you to find the needles in a haystack because there are tens of thousands of properties on the MLS on the market right now. So that's the value of MLS Deal Finder. And we have, recently we had AZ and Jessica that just did an interview with us, and they built a business on MLS deals. Right, so there's a lot of opportunities there if you know how to capture it. And also you need to know how to work the deals, right? And obviously the MLS is a needle in a haystack, and there's a lot of competition, so much competition. And so you need to have a system that you can employ to do that. but also you also want to start looking at off-market motivated sellers. And so we decided to launch the product around June of last year. And the market loved it because we're giving them so much value for the off-market leads. So we have off-market leads, which we have, a team of over 20 people doing all the data mining for you for the off-market motivated sellers. And so, and there are 10 different types of lists, right? So that's what those are our kind of marketing points. And if you have to buy the list from different people, it's going to cost you $2,000 every month just to get that list. Because, guys, investors, if you can if you can get a deal, you can have a potential of making, $20,000 up to $50,000, up to $100,000, $200,000 for that deal. And so those motivated seller leads is very valuable because your return is so much higher. So we revolutionized the market, we disrupted the market, and we are offering it for under $200 a month because we believe that the limitation shouldn't be about data, but how you grow your business and how you grow your marketing. There are so many people that are trying to get started in real estate investments and they're hitting the walls, right? And a lot of the folks that do it, they want to do that part-time and work their full-time job. But if things are not happening as fast, you're not going to make that entrepreneurial leap of faith as fast. So what we're doing is we're commoditizing the data. So now you can start making those happen much faster in a much lower budget, and you can grow your business faster. Right? We are enablers of entrepreneurial dreams. I think that's our social responsibility. And so we're bringing down the cost of data, and we're giving you more marketing data. So after all those different kinds of motivated sellers, we have now launched County Data Finder that gives you more access to county data to find more types of motivated sellers. So a lot of bigger investors or bigger listing agents do this kind of marketing because in the county data, there's all kinds of motivated sellers. You can find people that are older than 65 years old. Maybe it's time for them to downsize, right? Or you can find people that have a big, sharp increase in their valuation. And maybe now they are sitting on a lot of equity they want to sell. So a lot of listing agents have been marketing to that. And what happens is the investors are also marketing to that. And so listing agents, when they get these motivated sellers, and if they're truly motivated, right, and they just want to cash out, they're gonna price it low, and you can find on MLS Deal Finder. Then off-market leads and County Data Finder is the off-market. So we capture everything in terms of these motivated sellers. We capture all those for you. The off-market motivated sellers, right? Just kind of to share for those of you who don't know as much about us, is that we can find we do a lot of data mining for folks that are in probate or about to go into foreclosure. All those are the folks, and so there's social responsibility in everything. Right. So we always preach that, hey, if you're going to market to these motivated sellers, you need to be sensitive and you need to, come with a desire to help them out their situation. Right. So if they are in foreclosure, they're going to lose their home to the bank if they don't get a bailout. So is there some kind of way for you to, and they're going to lose their home and they're going to, the lenders, if they owe more money, lenders can go after them, right? And they can't get out of that situation because they're going to get foreclosed. They can't pay the bills, and the bank's gonna take it and they're gonna lose everything. So the way the ethical investors that are adding value to the market, and those are the ones that we want to educate and preach. I guess it's actually preaching. We want to work with the wholesalers that are ethical out there, is that they go there and they try to solve the problem. Maybe they can walk away from the home, but they can have some money that they can have to walk away instead of just losing the home and owing more money. Or if they really owe more money, then how they can just get it so they can just walk out of the house and they don't owe anything else. So these investors are adding value to the market because they are providing an alternate solution for them. So the best alternate solution we can offer to them, the better. So that's our social responsibility. And so the probates, right? It would be like, let's say, I got a property. These folks they get a property from their parents that passed away, and maybe they want to cash out and split amongst the siblings, or maybe they want to they want to keep it as a landlord, but then after a while they go, oh man, it's very tough being a landlord. Maybe just cash it out. It's easier. I'm not made for this. And so you can market to them, and they're typically willing to take a discount, and because they own the house free and clear. Most of these houses in probate, they're owned for such a long time, free and clear. So the kids want to get cash, and then you can offer a good enough offer to get them to close quickly. They don't have to spend time putting the money on the market and all that stuff. You can also add value there. You can create value there. So anyway, all kinds of these type of motivated sellers, and now we're adding another very key bestseller is called marketing intelligence. So what we have been doing is creating intelligence for the market, right? All these are motivated sellers. So we want to start adding more value to you. So the marketing intelligence is an additional subscription that again is over $2,000 of value, and we have figured out that formula. $2,000 of value, we want to offer it to you for less than $100 a month, $200 a month, because this data is extremely valuable, very expensive as well. So we have this data now. You can have phone numbers and email addresses and all kinds of intelligence about them, about these consumers. So now you can be much more effective in your marketing, and you can be a much better marketer. So let's see. These are the products that we do, and we think it's going to add a lot of value to the market, and we want to share with the world. And obviously, as we continue to grow and influence and continue to grow, I want to give as much value to the market as possible, not just through product, but also in our entrepreneurial journey. So I would say this is our episode 101. Just kind of sharing our starting origin stories. And let me kind of finish the last bit. Is that with these products now we are all over Texas. We have a sales team in each of the major metropolitan area. Austin, San Antonio, Houston metro area, and the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. And we have, like I said, a total of over 50 employees. We also have a full-on engineering team. We are very team-based. So we have been able to grow the company and continue to grow more and more and more because I think we can keep adding more and more value to the market. So with this, I want to share, the journey of how I got here, and this is my vlog, my video blog. Instead of having a blog and I have to write, and I'm not very good at writing. It takes time to write, and I just kind of share this with you guys, and we can transcribe it and we can kind of keep it in we can keep it in, what am I saying? Keep it in our archive, because I think there's some leadership tidbits here that our team can benefit from too. So, well, if you guys like this episode or this kind of open sharing, please like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube. And for those of you, my friends that I have lost touch, over time because I'm so busy in this business, I want to, use this opportunity to share with, kind of catch up. Just because we haven't had that much time to hang out, but kind of just sharing a little bit of how we're doing, and some of the realizations. I think that's a very good, effective way to use our time because of the platform that we have built. So subscribe to us. This is episode 101, and send me questions, topics on mailbag at realestateiq.co, right? Mailbag at realestateiq.co. Send us questions. So we're going to have real estate talk that we're going to focus on more real estate. And then I think we'll have this, Steve Liang real talk, like just being as genuine as we can be, and answer questions and give you guys value. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and give me topics, please. Give me topics so I don't have to think as hard. Thanks, guys.